Okay, thumbs up if you're almost done. Almost? Are you almost done? No? Okay.
Porque él es
Okay, whatever you haven't finish over the weekend. We're going to take a quiz on these words on Tuesday. So make sure you study this weekend and make sure you know how what the words mean and how to use them in a sentence. So you can put those papers away. And today we're going to talk about something called personal narrative. Okay? This is how it's spelled. So there's 3 parts to a personal narrative, okay? It's pretty much a story that you tell about yourself. It's a true story, and there's a sequence of events. That means there's one thing right after another. And you tell it in first person, so you say, I went to Peru, or I hung out with my sister this weekend. Some stories you say, the boy walked to the beach, but in these kinds of stories you say, I walked to the beach. You talk about yourself, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to listen to a story. Who can tell me what happened during World War II? This is a story about World War II. This is the war 70 years ago in Europe, and Germany and Italy, the Nazis, were fighting against Britain and the United States, and also Japan was with Germany.
You guys know about Hitler?
Hitler?
Yeah, this was Hitler.
Okay. So this story takes place in Europe, and this is, she's an old lady now, but she's telling a story of when soldiers came to her town when she was little, when she was 11 years old. Okay? So just watch and listen, and we'll talk about the story.
Memory from World War II, a personal narrative by Mickey C. Melandra. In the last year of the war, fall in the Netherlands was cold and wet. No lighted stoves, no coal, no lamps to make the room seem warm, no electricity. The soup from the central kitchen, a mixture of potato peels and cabbage leaves and water without salt, was cold by the time we got it home. That day in October, just when it began to get dark, army trucks closed off our street, as they had done many times before. and a platoon of German soldiers started a house-to-house search for men that they could force to join their army. "Come out! Come out!" First, they yelled at us to come outside and stand on the sidewalk while soldiers ran through our houses, poking in attics and closets. "Come out!" My little brothers forgot to grab their coats. We huddled together to stay warm. Next, our street filled up with women and children. We could talk freely since the soldiers didn't understand Dutch, but we kept our voices low. Jokes flew around. I didn't understand what they were talking about, but I liked the laughter. It got colder. The soldiers had nearly come to the end of the street, and no men had been found. We became quiet, and then we heard someone crying. All the mothers turned. It was the sound of a crying child. On the stoop of Mr. Van Kampen's house sat a soldier, his rifle propped up next to him, his face hidden in his coat. He tried to swallow his sobs, but then he gave up. A mother walked over and talked to him softly in German. "What's wrong?" she asked. She bent over him and he spoke, and when he was finished, she stood straight up and announced to us, "He's 16 years old, he misses his family, and hasn't had anything to eat today." 2 or 3 mothers slipped away from the group and went into their houses. A German soldier came walking down the street half a block away. I was scared and very cold. The mothers managed to get back in time. A cold, cooked potato, a piece of bread, and a wrinkled apple were passed through the group to the boy. The soldier came closer. The boy turned into a soldier again. "Thank you," he said in German, and then climbed to his feet and grabbed his rifle. The truck engine started up, and the soldiers left. Finally, we all went inside. For the rest of the war, for the rest of my life, I have remembered that soldier who cried. He was the same age as my sister. I will never forget him.
Okay. So let's talk about what happened in that story. And she used some of the words that were on your vocabulary list. So she said the word first. That's the very first thing that happened. What happened first in their village? Who came? What? The soldiers. First, the soldiers came. Next, or what's another word that you could use is second. Okay, what happened next? Or what happened second? What did the soldiers tell everyone to do?
Search house.
Yes. The soldiers